in what is definitely the most difficult match for me personally of the night to decide who's going to win. It's going to be Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now, this one is like pretty difficult because either one of them can like walk out as the victor here. Now, I feel that they sort of do owe Drew, and they know that they owe Drew because yes, he was the champion in the pandemic era, and that was supposed to be his big moment in front of a live WrestleMania crowd, and then it ended up being Warehouse Mania, as we all know. Yeah, and then he also had the chance to do at Clash of the Castle, but of course the Bloodline storyline wouldn't permit that. So are they gonna finally do right by Seth? Sorry, right by Drew, and give him that big moment in front of a massive crowd. Yeah, like if it wasn't for next month's pay-per-view, yeah, I would probably bet on that. But next month's pay-per-view is gonna be Survivor Series, isn't it? And I think despite them appearing frequently on both shows, they're still gonna do the whole brand supremacy thing, yeah, where it's Raw versus SmackDown, yeah. So therefore, Raw's champion has to take on SmackDown's champion. Now, I've been thinking this is going to happen for a long time, that it's going to be Seth versus Roman, as, Seth is the only asterisk on Roman's championship matches, yeah, where he's, basically walked out with the belt, but he never beat Seth. So, either one of two things are going to happen. You're going to have Seth, beat Roman to solidify that belt and make it look less like the B belt, or Roman erases his asterisks. Yeah, I mean, on a stretch though, there is the chance that Damien Priest could walk out as a champion, and what bigger like ground to do it than at Saudi Arabia for all those people. So yeah, he could easily walk out as champion too, but if I had to pick, I'm saying Seth is leaving as champion, and he's gonna head to face Roman Reigns at Survivor Series.
Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for the world's heavyweight title. Look, I like what they're doing with Drew. Don't let anyone touch him, on the brink of a heel turn. There's a lot to go with it. The problem is, I've liked what they've done with Finn. I've liked what they've done with Shinsuke. And this is just another victim as far as I'm concerned. It's going to be a hell of a match, but Seth is going to retain. And then there's going to be a rematch, which last time I kind of put my money on it, that it has to be Finn. It has to be Shinsuke. Spoiler alert, I'm going for Seth 2 times in a row on this one. WWE, mix it up just a little bit with this title. It's getting interesting. You are building the stars, but then I feel like they're being cut short again, and this is the problem. We need to see where they're going. What's next for Shinsuke? He's got this big thing going on, but that's that. Finn is lucky to have the Judgment Day. Don't let Drew get lost in purgatory. So please, Seth to win, but let's do something after we've built these guys.
Okay, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Heel Drew is working. It's making him really interesting again, although I maintain face Drew was one of the best face champions we've had for years. Drew, I do think, is going to be the one that takes the belt off Seth, but I don't think this is the time. I think he needs to lose to Seth to be pushed completely over into heel territory, and then use that heel turn to actually win the title at something like Survivor Series, maybe the Rumble. Drew will take it off him eventually, but I'm going to go with Seth Rollins to retain for this one.
Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre. One has a long contract, one hasn't signed their contract. Do you put the belt on the person that hasn't signed their contract? Do you give him a title to say, look, we care about you, sign your paperwork so we can keep you around? Or do you keep Seth Rollins as champion because Seth Rollins is champion still? They're keeping Seth Rollins until he signs that piece of paper. I think Drew's leaving. I think Drew's gone. I think Drew's done with WWE. But right now, this should be the best match on the card. And fingers crossed it is. And hey, Drew versus Seth. Can't go wrong. Seth Rollins to win.
So this prediction is for the World Heavyweight Championship between Seth Rollins, the reigning defending champ, and the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. So, and again, this is like Shinsuke Nakamura, another brilliant match, WrestleMania type match, if you will, for Seth Rollins. Got to give it to him though. He's been defending Seth Rollins that title like how a world title should be. Back in the day, that's how the world title used to be defended, you know, even back in the Attitude Era days. And yeah, there were some times where, you know, they'd be like, all right, not today, that kind of thing. But if you want proof of a reigning defending champion, like Paul Heyman likes to say, then look no further than Seth Rollins. Now, his back. Do we worry about his back? Do we take that into consideration? Because on a couple of occasions, he's mentioned his back. There's a couple of occasions he's won. There's been no cash-in. I've been saying this cash-in for the last two PLEs now. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? But with this one, I think these are the odes to Drew becoming heel again. He's going to have some kind of problem winning the world title, and it's going to send him over the edge. Or the Judgment Day is going to help him. You know, Seth called him out on what he was doing talking to Rhea Ripley. So, yeah, what's going on there? Like, you know, why would Drew help the Judgment Day to win? You know, because I'm thinking, yeah, you know, he get beat up so bad that like Damian Priest could cash in, but at the same time, I'm thinking, why would you want to do that if he lost? Do you know what I mean? Or is he joining the Judgment Day? Been hearing little rumours about that as well. However, as good as this match will be, as chaotic as this match will be, might even be the match that steals the show, if not for the women's title. So, as hard as it's going to be, I think I know where this one's going to go. I think we're going to have a heel Drew. They've been teasing it for weeks as well with the New Day. So yeah, maybe only by the hairs on his chin, but I think Seth will retain in this one. Whether we'll have a cash-in or not, it depends. I mean, you know, they do like to pull surprises out in Saudi Arabia's events, so who knows, maybe he will cash in. But Seth to retain.